Are we? I've. This is the. I think we're live.
It's
Yes,
the no man's
yes. I
land.
think we're live. I've got the yes. It says we are live, and waiting. That's right. Here's the waiting for people to come into the stream. Hey Nathan. Hey sup. Thanks for joining the stream. You're the first person in the stream, Mr. Spock. Hey, how's it going? The comedian. Hi, Mr. Spock. Live. Yes, we are live. Gaudio, good day, gentlemen. Nathan's finally a duo. Yes, this is Salty Cracker
What's up,
on
everybody?
my on this side over here. Hey, Jose. Yep. Blimpus. Paul. Hi from Utah. Michael. Welcome to the stream, mate. Deplorable white man. It's going. I hope the same for you. Yeah, good sir. Awesome sauce. Having a salty cracker. Oh, I just realized, Salty, you can't see the chat.
No, I pulled it up on my phone,
Oh,
so I've
you
got.
can, because I didn't.
Yeah.
I did not even think you can't see the chat. It's like I'm embarrassed. Yeah, okay.
No, we're good.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Tom, Andrew, Mikey. Okay, where's everyone from? Want to get like, hey, from New Jersey? Thanks, throw something. Build the wall. Yeah, for sure, mate, for sure. Yeah. I'm not sure, Salty, if you're getting the comments the same time I'm getting them. You probably are. They're probably coming up. Yep.
It just got Hi from UK that just popped up. Blue
Yeah,
Ridge
yeah. We're,
Mountains.
we're, we're pretty much, yeah, we got Washington, Pennsylvania, Southern Cal, the UK, Blue Ridge Mountains. Canada needs a wall also. Yeah, true, true. Yeah, build the wall, Nathan. Like the stream. Yeah, like the stream. Yeah, the little button down there. Hey, Bruce Jenner is not a woman. You should tell me what your real name is. Or just your first name. I'm not sure. I feel really awkward calling you Bruce Jenner is not a woman. Hi from Mars. How's it up there on Mars? Ray. Good. I like that name, Ray. Very short. Okay. Trump's slogan for 2020 is make liberals cry again. Okay. Can everyone hear audio? Can hear Salty's audio? Can you hear my audio? Like, give us a like a thumbs up if the audio is good. Are there any issues? Everyone, audio is good. You can hear Salty. You can hear me. Okay, very good. Sounds good to me. Okay. Audio is great, mate. Loud and clear, very good. Okay, we'll give it another, a couple of minutes. Wait for a few more people to jump into the stream. Salty dog audio, okay.
Salty dog. Slightly offended by that.
Hey William, hey Walt. Yeah, I don't know. I get so many comparisons to the Breaking Bad guy. I don't know. What's his name? I forget his name. But yeah, I did pull up a whole lot of Google images for him, and I thought, yeah, if I get some glasses and everything, I could probably pull that off. Well, Guardian, love your channel. Yeah, thanks, mate. I love you. I love you watching. The channel has been blowing up lately, like cracking. I don't know. YouTube has done something with the algorithm. I don't know what they've done. Our videos before, they were kind of like confined to the community. But now they're going out over recommended. They're going out over suggested. Again, the video uploaded yesterday afternoon at like 2 o'clock, which is, I never upload a video then. It's like 33,000 views at the moment. So yeah, the channel is just going crazy. And the positive message is getting out there, and you can't keep this kind of positive message down. Carrie, I get laughing every time I hear the word wanker. I had no clue what it was till I visited the UK. I thought everyone knew what the word wanker meant. It's more of an Aussie pommy thing, I guess. 100k subs with no video channel. Yeah, what's up, fam? Yeah, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Yep, well, we'll give it a few more minutes. Yeah, just introduce yourself in the chat there. Let us know where you're from. William, I'm surprised I even got an alert from this live stream. So what have you been up to today, Salty? What is it like? What time is it? It's like lunchtime.
It's 1:10 in the afternoon here in California.
Yeah. So what have you been out on the bike, or what you been doing? You been like?
No, just got up this morning, slept in, had a stream last night, so trying to get my videos caught up after that. Like I just got my wall video up, put that together this morning, and then got ready for this stream.
Yeah. So what's the weather like? Is it just boringly medium in California?
Dude, California doesn't have any weather. It's just always nice here. Yeah. You have to put up with all of these lefty nut jobs, but the weather, it's always you got a 10-degree swing. It's always between 70 and 80 here, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Outside of San Francisco, I'm about 40 minutes away from that dump. So, in the suburbs.
Yeah. No, I was there in 2012 for like a web hosting conference in Boston, and I spent a week in LA, and yeah, the weather was amazing. It's a really great, just sort of moderate weather. It's like you're in a dome and someone has the thermostat just set. And it's like, but like, over here we get in Australia, we get pretty cold winters, pretty warm summers. So yeah, we get a lot of change right now. Okay, got a few more people coming into the stream. So yeah, today we're just going to be hanging out with Salty. We're going to be talking to Salty for a bit, and we're going to be getting into a few issues as well. If you want some issues, talk from the chat. Let us know. Let us know in the chat. So yeah, let's just Andrew Justice global warming. Salty Cracker is near me. I am honoured to be I'm honoured to be in such great company as few we are. True that, mate.
Oh, that's awesome.
No one's above the law except illegals. Build that wall. Yeah, good news, Trump. Supreme Court clearing the wall. You can just imagine all these little leftists down there with the little picks. In like 10 years when the wall's built, there'll be videos of leftists with picks and hammers trying to knock down the wall. You see them at the White House now. They're taking pictures of themselves like with the finger to the White House. They're giving the White House the finger. And they've got the camera, and they're going to be doing that to the wall. Yeah, they're going to be like...
it's all class.
I think it's crazy. Yeah, another 2.5 billion for the wall. Yep. Ross Perot donated 9 million to the 20. Did he really? I didn't know that. Hey Salty, I don't know you knew Rob. I am subbed to both of you. Yeah, I'm sure that.
What's up, Brian?
I guess we are move in similar kind of circles, as far as like the culture war and the what is it, the anti-peace, politically correct kind of culture. Yeah. Salty's more about, I shouldn't say more, because you do a lot of like hardcore politics as well. Your streams are like, you just get in, you go for the throat. You get right into the issue. When I first saw your channel, it was the movies, the comic books, the culture, the TV shows. And I think that's like where a lot of the battle is being fought right now. It's being fought in the movie cinemas, and so yeah, I think that Salty is just on the front line of the culture war. Okay,
well oh sorry man, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say the culture war is really heating up in our entertainment. I mean, that's the thing that's really driving me to make my videos, is that they kind of lie to you in politics. They've got to talk one way so they can, because the lefties are trying to appease the moderate and they want votes. And so they lie openly. But then when they get into our media, it's hard for them to lie, because the way that it works in Hollywood, the more anti-Trump you are, the more deranged you are, the more it seems to bounce off their echo wall. And so it's getting harder and harder for them to hide the fact that they're communist lunatics when they're pushing it in our movies, in our music, in our video games. And so that's why I love to hit on both. But they're to me, they're both rising as the temperature of the political spectrum increases over here. They're going in tandem. They're feeding off of each other.
So let's get into the official part of the show right now. So when did you start making like YouTube videos? Why? Let's start. What prompted you to do? I'm going to make a video. What was the reasoning?
I first started making videos almost right a couple years after YouTube came out, but I was making videos about video games and old school video game consoles. And I was reaching a lot of people from other countries, and it was cool. And then I had to go to work. And then as I was going to work, I let that channel die off. And I started to get red pilled, around 2008. We had a big market crash here in the US. And there was a lot of things that weren't making sense. And so you don't get any good information off of television. I was watching CNN, MSNBC. I was a hardcore lefty at the time.
All right, okay.
And so I was just drinking the Kool-Aid. And then I would go outside and I'd be like, what the hell's going on? Everything they're saying seems to be wrong. And so then I started going on YouTube and just listening to people like Peter Schiff, Stefan Molyneux, and listening to these people and just going down that rabbit hole. And then it started to get to a point where an event would happen, and I would yell about it to my wife, and then Stefan Molyneux would do a video, and they had influenced me so much. I had been radicalized by the influencers so well that what I was saying, I would then hear in their videos the next day, and so I was just digesting that, eating that up, and then it got to a point where I started. I was a public school teacher, so I was working all day long. But then I started my own business, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start yelling about stuff in between clients. I'm just going to start yelling about stuff and putting it up on YouTube and see if we can, just start venting a little bit. And that's how the channel started. I would just pick something that was happening in the news, yell about it, just as a way to save my wife from having to listen to a lunatic ramble about the same stuff over and over again. And then it just started, slowly growing into a channel. And then I started yelling about pop culture. The channel originally started as I was going to yell about education, and I was going to yell about straight politics. And every now and then I would throw something in about video games, and it wouldn't really do that well. Yeah. And then
I think your first video was about a book, was about like a news letter, teachers going through and how it's just indoctrination of social justice warrior policies. And all it was you with your camera, and you were looking through this like book. And I watched that because I said, I found your channel. It's like, this guy's like everything I'm thinking. It's like, wow. And I think you're at like 8,000-9,000 subs, and we're at like 4 or 5. And I'm like, oh, he's really is something to reach for. You were like a channel to almost like in a bike race. You were in front of me, and I'm like, oh, that guy's going really great. I keep chasing that guy. And so I went back and watched your first video. I love first videos of channels. Like you find any like huge YouTuber, go back, watch their first video. It's like it's most of them are terrible, but as they are when you're starting out. Yeah. But yours was great. Yours was like, look at this commie manifesto instructing the teachers how to deal with social justice warrior issues. Yeah, and I thought that was great. I thought, yeah. So you're basically yelling at me, go build a YouTube channel.
Dude, one day we were at the dinner table and CNN's in the background, and I'm listening to it, and I was going nuts. And she just looked at me and she goes, "You got to relax. You got to calm down a little bit." Like my voice would get up, and she's the one who named the channel Salty Cracker because you're just angry. You're an angry white dude.
Okay, so Salty Cracker, and that's probably like more of an American term, less of an Australian term. So that means what, like a angry white guy kind of thing? The cracker.
Yeah. So Salty is like, yeah, you're pissy, you're a little bit angry, you're whiny, salty,
Yeah.
and then cracker is like a honky, like cracker is a
Like a derogatory white
yeah, it's a derogatory term for white
Yeah.
people. And so I just figured, well, I know I'm going to when you're going to if you're going to yell about lefties and you're going to yell about communism and socialists, you're going to get called a racist. And I was like, well, I might as well appropriate. Salty honky doesn't have the same feel as salty cracker, so I went with that.
Yeah.
Trying to get out ahead of the hate.
Yeah. So it is very therapeutic when you do make a video and like you. I find I get it all out there. Make the video, and it's like I've released it all. I just then can go away, go out on my bike. I feel really good. It feels very therapeutic to yell into the camera. I think there's this sense of frustration about people can't do anything. They're frustrated. They're about everything's happening around them. The culture's happening around them. You know, the celebrities are so powerful, and what they say, and they have so much influence that the single man on the street or the woman can't really do anything. It's like there's a feeling of disempowerment, I guess. But like, make a YouTube video and you yell into the camera and you put it out there, and it's like, oh, well, I did my little bit. And you feel what's the word? You feel you've let it go. And yeah, there is. I feel there's an empowerment. I feel there's like a yeah. I don't annoy my wife anywhere near as much as I used to about yeah. Because like yourself, I would be like complaining. Oh, this happened today. Oh, did you see what they did over there? Oh my God, they did this. And like, but she never told me to go away build a YouTube channel or anything. But now I don't talk. I don't complain to her as much as I do now. Yeah. Okay, so you got into YouTube. What you were in the grind for a long time with your channel, before you started getting the big numbers. Like I look back, as every YouTube channel, I look back through the early videos. My channel especially, 30 views, 20 views, 12 views. The videos. That's the apprenticeship. You're like in the grind. You're making your videos, and it's got 10 people watching. I mean, I think if there's 10 people watching a video, I think that's amazing. I think that's incredible. Wow, 10 people watched 10 people watched this. I mean, what? But I think that's great. But so when was your first? You're in the grind. How long did it take? Until you thought, okay, this is kind of taking off. This is going somewhere. Was there a point? Was there a video? Was there like a moment where you thought
you nailed it on the head. Because every now and then somebody asks me about starting a YouTube channel, and they're like, well, how long does it take to get to 100,000 subs? And I sit there and I go, you're not going to make it if that's what you're going in thinking. Like, you have to be excited for the 10 views. For the longest time, I would be like, we broke 2 digits. 8 of those are my views, by the way, but we still broke 10. And then it was the first time we hit 100 on a video, I remember just going, holy balls, that's really cool, because there's so many people out there that I look up to, and I'm just kind of like, why would anybody watch my channel? I'm just some idiot yelling about, Steven Crowder does it way better than me. Why don't you guys watch Steven instead of me? And so when we started to get like 100, and this is just a few months ago, like the channel's only been up just over a year, and the first 9 months it was hard to break 100 views. All the views that are on those videos now are from people who have gone back and looked at them. But there's one video that I was just looking at when I uploaded the video for this morning. I was like, that video went up 5 months ago and it only has 400 views still. And it's like, if you don't love reaching 20 views, 30 views, don't start a YouTube channel. That's right. Because you've got to do it. you've got to love making videos, and you've got to love getting 10 views, because that's what it's like for the first year.
Oh, absolutely. I remember when I hit 39 subscribers, I put out a 39 subscriber like celebration video. I mean, it was like,
Yeah.
to me it was the best. You know how hard this space is. It's probably the most competitive marketplace on the planet is YouTube, and to create, for me, 39 subscribers was like, yeah, I made a video. Thank you for 39 subscribers. This is amazing.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, and I look back on that now, and I think, well, seems a little bit weird, but the feeling of 39. And I remember I was going to make like 100 subscriber special, and but then one of the videos just started blowing up. An Alyssa Milano video started blowing up, and then we really didn't get a chance to make that 100 subscriber, because we hit we hit hundreds of subscribers really quickly. But there was
nice
that early day grind, but it didn't take that long. It wasn't. It was maybe like a month or so. So it seems like the apprenticeship was fairly short, but so many channels is that early day grind. If there are people watching who are wanting to build a YouTube channel, who are trying to build a YouTube channel, just keep at it. If the views are small, just keep putting the content out there, and it's 50 views or 100 views on a video is fantastic. I still remember when we broke the 100. I was like, I pretty much won lotto. I pretty much won But it's such a competitive. What is it like? 4,000 hours a minute of YouTube footage goes up on. It is so competitive.
Wow.
I think YouTube is the most competitive platform or marketplace in the world. We have a global platform, but you were talking about Crowder. I mean, yeah, he does it better than any of us. Why don't they just all watch him? But we've all got something like a little bit different to offer and a little bit unique. So yeah, as I said, I get a lot of emails, people asking how they how to start the channel, how to build their own channel. And I'm encouraging people, build a channel, just start yelling into a camera. You don't even need a camera. Just get some screen recording software, talk about the issues. Alex Jones, is a guy, I admire Alex. Don't agree with everything he says, but he would be constantly saying, got to build a YouTube channel, get out, got to get active, get engaged. And it was when when they banned him off every platform, I was like, oh, holy crap. Maybe I should start doing something. So yeah, the next day I started this channel, and 3 months later, uploaded the first video in January this year. But yeah, we've all got to get engaged. I think everyone should have a YouTube channel. Everyone who's a part of this, on this side of politics, we've all got to start. We've all got to start just yelling about these issues that we really, So yeah, okay. So you've got. Was there one video that just went crazy as the channel? Was there that one that just skyrocketed?
There was a video. I did a video about Captain Marvel's Brie Larson, and that video went for my channel. If I break, that was the first one to break 100,000. Yeah. And when you break 100,000 on a video, that's when your subs start. You can double wherever you're at. You can double if you hit like 100,000 views sometimes on these videos. And that video just really lit the channel up. The channel went from like 5,000 subs to 8,000 subs in a very short amount of time. And it was monetized. You've got to get 1,000 subs before you can get monetized. And then even when you're monetized at 1,000 subs, those videos, you're not doing it for money, because those videos don't make any money. But that video was monetized, and it went through the roof. And I was like, holy balls. I just got $40. I want to go spend this on beer. And my wife was like, you made $40 on your stupid YouTube channel? I was like, yeah, let's go to the store. I'm thirsty.
Yeah,
And so that was the big one for
yeah.
me.
I actually I watched that Captain Marvel thing on your channel. I think that was the first video that I saw on your channel was the Brie Larson, and that the whole issue around Captain Marvel with the as far as the culture was concerned, it just drew me in. I think that was the. I don't know about red pilling in the as far as the movies, and I always knew that the propaganda is there. I never realized kind of how thick it was and how orchestrated it was, and when you look at what they're the stuff they're putting into the movies. I mean, this is mostly what you focus about, the propaganda that goes into the movies. It's like I'm just blown away. I mean, I thought it was a little bit. Obviously, they do it a little bit on the side, but I like watching content from what you're saying. It's like it's almost the whole purpose of the movie when they make these movies.
Yeah.
It's like it's like they only make these movies to add these narratives in and to add these social justice narratives. So how do you see that side of the how do you see that side of things playing out?
It's ramping up. For I don't know how many of your audience peoples are focusing on the culture war, but they're getting more and more emboldened on our side. And so Brie Larson was a huge symptom of this that I think was a good chance for everybody to see out in the open, because she's doing press for Captain Marvel. And essentially what she does in front of an audience, in front of a bunch of people, in front of press, is that she just starts talking about how she doesn't care about the opinion of straight white males. And she's making comic book movies who the primary demographic of consuming those movies are straight white males. And so there's that part of my brain that goes, why in the hell would you piss off your core audience? Why are you going to bite the hand that feeds you? And instead of her just coming out and apologizing for being an open racist, that's when you say, I don't care about a group of people's opinion because of their skin color, you're a racist. She doubles down. And the shill media protects her. There's no negative press about Brie Larson from any mainstream media outlet out there. It's all positive. She could probably kill a dog on the street, and they will still find a way to spin it positively for her. And so you watch this and you go, are we hitting peak wokeness? Are they going to turn around anytime soon? And then you get an article that comes out yesterday or the day before where you've got these people writing for The Independent, and they say, well, we need to just get rid of all these straight white males in these comic book movies. And they're just openly doing this, and it's reaching absurd levels of just being brazen, outright. They're trying to make a group of people upset, I feel, so they could then point at them and go, see, look, those are the racists. Oh, balls. Jesus, man. I get flustered, man. Yeah. I start destroying my own setup here. But yeah, so that's heating up, because it goes in tandem with the political rhetoric. You got the people on Capitol Hill, and they everything that Trump does is racist. He sends out a tweet telling 4 Congresswomen of color to show us your skills. You guys don't like anything we're doing. You don't want to vote for anything to fix this place. Here's some places that you guys come from that are all messed up. Go over there and fix them. Should be easy. Racist. And this, as they get hotter in Capitol Hill, it gives Hollywood the okay to start being crazier with their rhetoric, and it goes back and forth. They give each other power, and they're just making themselves look insane to people who are not crazy.
That's right. There seems to be like it's ratcheting up. They feed off each other. Like every day we seem to go up another notch. And then this side goes up another notch. I mean, they're talking about if you're a Trump supporter, you're basically a devil. The rhetoric is just off the. And you think can it get any worse? You know, can the rhetoric get any higher? But they seem to be one-upping themselves. They seem to be like it just goes up another notch on the on the ladder. And the insults about Trump, the insults about Trump supporters, because it's not only directed to Trump now, it's at his supporters. You know, so if you voted for Donald Trump, you are this, and you are you put kids in cages, and you're I don't know where the rhetoric's going to sort of stop. It's we used to have this cordial discourse back and forward, the left and the right. You know, we used to have this like they say like the two wings of the eagle or something like that. You know, the left side needs to be, and the right side of the eagle needs to be strong so you can fly. I'm like, screw that. I just want to kill the left side of the eagle. I'm like, there used to be, I was just joking about that. I don't want to kill eagles. There used to be this discourse. It was cordial, and it was like, you look at these old interviews on political interviews on TV, and one person makes his point, and then the other person listens. The other person makes their point, and they counter their point, and it's very. I used to love that, but now that's gone. That's just pretty much there's not that anymore. It's just this massive screaming match. It's this massive yelling match, and I think that's kind of like sad in a way that we've lost. The left and the right. We've just lost that. We've just lost the cordialness. What's another word? You're better at
decorum.
Decorum. Yeah, you're better at words than
they threw it right out the window last week. You had the House Speaker of our House of Representatives. She's the third person in line for the presidency. She's way up there, and she holds a vote in our House, and in the documents, the motion she's putting forward, she says our president's a racist. Well, he didn't do anything racist. It's subjective. What they're calling racist, half the country, I think probably more than half the country, doesn't consider it racist. But in our institutional halls, they're putting forward these records that say Donald Trump is a racist, and it violates all of the rules of decorum for the place. And the left seems fine with that. The left has a notion out there of, well, we don't need to be civil anymore. These guys are literally hattlers, and so we don't need to be civil to these people.
That's right.
And I'm sitting there going, you call everybody who disagrees with you a racist. And I'm like, they don't seem to be slowing down. They seem to be heating up.
So where does this go? Where does this kind of like do we get to a point where it just sort of stops? Or is it, or do we does it keep one upping, or is it? I'm worried about where this goes. I'm worried about where, because we've lost that, we've lost the discourse, we've lost the that's what, because I love the back and forth. I love the debate. I love the this is your point and this is my point. See, I would love to even do like debates on this channel with people with opposing views, people who don't think the same as I do. But I'd like to do that in the future. But you don't see a lot of that. Everyone's kind of in their camp. Everyone is in their tribe, and when there's a lot of yelling going on between tribes. Someone stands up and he yells out to the other guy, the other person over there, and they yell back. But there's no like coming together and discussing the issues. As you said, Nancy Pelosi, just comes out, calls Donald Trump a straight up racist, and I'm just wondering, where's it all going? Is it all going to end on the streets in civil war? Are we going to have or are we in the war now? Is this the war?
I think this is the war. I think every war has a lead up and a build up. And you can take wars and say, well, this is the hot flash of the war. This is the kinetic power of the war. But they all start with arguments, and the arguments all are grown from back and forth rhetoric. And it usually happens when one side says the other side's not allowed to talk anymore. And so that's what my concern is from. We should all love discourse. We should all love people debating. when one side says we're not having the debate anymore is when I get worried. Because that's never you can't find a period in history where one side gets enough. See, the left has the mainstream media outlets, and the big fight that we're seeing out of them is that they're pissed off that there's information seeping out through their blockade of information. You can go on YouTube, you can go on somebody's Twitter page, you can get information outside the mainstream media. And the left doesn't like you being able to do that because they had a monopoly on the information.
That's right.
And so they're getting super, super pissy about it. And that's why they're trying to clamp down. You could have your YouTube channel wiped off YouTube with no recourse. You don't even get a reason why. And you better hope that you have 100,000+ subs and a big Twitter following to get you reinstated, because the left loves silencing people because they can't argue with anybody on the battlefield of debate. It's no, you're a racist. That's the hate speeches. We're going to shut you down. And it's all because they don't want to have the discussion. And that always leads to people being murdered, mass murder.
So I see the right. We love discourse. We love debate, interaction. But the left is like even if you want to talk about like climate change, well, there's no debate about climate change anymore. We've settled that. No one's debating it, and we're not debating about climate change. And it's like they want to shut everything down they don't like. Is that they just got the big censor, the ban hammer, or the censoring, and all they can do is censor. I mean, we on the right, the conservative, we want to debate. We want a rambunctious discussion. We want to get into it. We want to get down there. But the left, the censorship on social media is just nuts. It is just insane. Are we going to survive up to like the 2020 election? Are a lot of conservative channels going to still be on YouTube? Is there going to be like a silent sort of killing of YouTube channels? I thought there was, but maybe Google has loosened the strings of censorship a little bit. But you're hearing from other people, other YouTubers, that that's like on this channel, on Mean the Left. I mean, our content is now going out over recommended and suggested, but for like two or 3 month period we were quarantined. We were we were in our own little shell, but all of a sudden someone flicked the switch, and all of a sudden the videos are getting tens of thousands of views. So you've heard from other people that it's the opposite?
Well, I know for my channel, with my analytics, I can see when my channel is heating up, and I can see when videos get turned off. You can actually see on the back end when you upload your videos, you get a lot of numbers, and you can see a natural bell. Most things in the natural order have a nice smooth bell curve, and the bell curve might be a little bit more pointy depending on the amount of heat that it has behind it. But you can see when you get a video, one of my first videos that did really well, it shot up and then it dropped like the next day. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense unless it's been turned off. And I was like, I don't want to think that they're turning my videos off. Yep. But you can see this type of stuff. And so I'm just now getting off of, I went through a huge spike. And I don't think I'm getting I don't think my content gets into the recommended. What happens is the people on my channel share it out. And so I get lucky enough that somebody with a bigger channel than mine gets a hold of it and shares it out, and then I see a big spike, and then it goes back down. It spikes, and then it goes quiet for a while, and so you see these spikes on my analytics, and we're just now coming out of, like, we shot up really hot for like a month, and now we were really cooled off. Everything's gone down, and we're finally starting to go back up. And so from my own channel, I can see this continuing up and down spike of hot and cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. And then I see people like Mr. Obvious. He just put up a post today on his channel. That dude went from 40,000 subs to 80,000 subs in like a month, and now nothing. He just put a message out saying that it looks like they turned him off, and it's a whack-a-mole, I think, from YouTube. I think they're trying to put out fires. They've got a bunch of people over there, and they're like, oh shit, that dude's hot. And they work stuff out, or they massage the algorithm. But when they do that, other people rise up because they've been they're working on silencing people, and then they go, oh crap, that person over there is now hot, and they kind of they're running around with their head cut off, I think. And we just got to take advantage of that by just keep plugging away at it. If you're hot, ride it, and if you're cold, put more videos up. Keep push through it.
It's funny because our side of the political spectrum is the most popular content as far as politics goes on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, yet the people who own this platform are on the other side of the political. You know, they're the left. And their audience on politics, because politics on YouTube is still only a very small genre of YouTube. You've got 15-year-old girls doing makeup tutorials who are shaming anyone in politics. I don't care if you're like the Young Turks or if you're, but they get millions and millions of views with their makeup tutorials. So in the big picture of YouTube, politics is still it's a subset, it's a genre, it's a area. It's not the biggest. We seem to think that it's all of YouTube, but it's not. It's just a small section of YouTube. YouTube could probably just kill all politics off the platform, and they wouldn't miss a beat. You know, so you've got we have the most popular content, but they keep suppressing it. They keep putting it. They keep squashing the content, even though our content is good for their business. I mean, that's the thing, that they put their ideology ahead of the content. They put their ideology ahead of revenue, ahead of profits. It just get rid of all this censorship and let the platform be, and they will make so much more money. Because there's got to be a whole lot of conservative advertisers, companies out there who will advertise with conservative channels. I mean, you can't tell me there's not at least 1,000 conservative companies who will say, yes, I will advertise with YouTube and to get ads onto conservative channels. I mean, the market is there. We have the eyeballs, but YouTube is like, oh no, it's like you were talking about whack-a-mole. And I see a lot of it as being like individual activists within YouTube, managers or whatever little sections they're at. They're like, oh, we got a channel running over here. Let's just untick the over recommended. Let's just untick the go over suggested sort of thing. Tim Pool's even saying, of course, it's the whole, they're trying to promote authoritative news sources like CNN, MSNBC, of course, I think they're getting paid from those companies as well. Because no one really wants to come to YouTube to watch CNN, to watch Anderson Cooper. They want to come to YouTube to watch Salty Cracker. That's what makes YouTube great. Is the individuals who built building these channels. They don't want to watch the corporate wankers. They don't want to watch that. They want to watch the Salty Crackers. They want to watch the individual content creators that they feel a connection to. That there's a real person making these videos. Yeah, and there's a real connection. There's no connection with the $14 billion corporation. Whoops, something happened on the thing there. Yeah, there's no, people don't feel a connection with the multi-billion-dollar corporation. Something's happening in the it's doing a weird thing with the anyway. We're just going to keep on pushing. Pushing on. Yeah, I mean, they want independent content creators on YouTube. And so I find it bizarre that YouTube are fighting against their one of their greatest assets on this side. They're fighting against us, and they just let the reins of censorship go. I mean, you got to have rules. I mean, but stop being so biased, against Trump supporters. And they will make a ton more money. I find that whole thing just totally bizarre. Okay, yeah. I don't know if anyone saw that, but on my screen the images changed sizes. It mightn't have gone out over the stream. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Oh, sorry, I had to get that off my. Yeah, why did memes shrink? I changed size on the stream. I don't know why it does that. Okay, it's done that the Incredible Shrinking Man. Yeah. But yes, what you said, whack-a-mole, Salty's moved as well. I think someone's in YouTube is messing with us here. They're definitely messing with us. Yeah. But it's like whack-a-mole. Yeah, you said that they're just, someone comes up, well, got to knock him back down, take him off recommended, take that channel off recommended. So yeah, if they could just stop stuffing around, they would make a whole lot more money.
Yeah, that's the part that makes me a little bit weirded out, because you're in a situation where, as YouTube, owned by Google, the name of the game is keeping people on your platform. The longer they're on your platform, the more advertising revenue that you can sell to advertisers. So why are you guys purposely taking people who have content that through your original algorithm would put them into recommended? You're shoving them out of recommended, and you're doing it because of because of political reasons. We're not going to put these people who are pushing what they consider hate speech into the recommended section. Well, then you're going to lose money. You're making you want people to spend less time on your platform, and so somebody has to be offsetting that. I don't know if it's the CNNs of the world or the MSNBCs giving them money. I don't know if it's China giving them money. All I know is there's no corporation out there that wants to give up money, and something's going on, and it's never at face value.
That's right. Yep. Our images are moving around on the screen again.
That's awesome.
I'll have to figure out why it does that. Yes, I'm using OBS. Someone said, "Is he using OBS?" Yes, I am using OBS. So it'd be great if they could just let YouTube be. YouTube is the greatest democratization. Well, what would I say, of information. I mean, if you have good information, it rises up in the algorithm. And it was a beautiful system. It was a perfect system. If you made good content, people who interacted with your content liked your content. If you make a video and it gets enormous amount of likes and comments, and YouTube says, hey, people like this stuff. You've got some stuff. And then YouTube says, well, let's promote that stuff to other people that could like it as well. And it is a perfect system. And then they got to go in and stuff it up. They've got to take people, out of the algorithm, remove people. We were when we were in the quarantine phase. We would have a video with 1,500 views, and it got 1,500 likes. At 12 or 1,500 likes, and they got 4,000 views. I mean, a video that gets 1,500 likes should go out over the algorithm. That video is gone. It should go. That should go to 15, 20,000. But they keep it quarantined. They keep it locked in to the subscriber base, and that works against their business. I mean, but it's obviously they put their ideology ahead of money. And as what you said, I think that CNN, I think that these big corporations that are being promoted in the feed, I think they're obviously paying Google a crap ton of money, because they're losing money on this side. They're probably making it up over there. But it's the ideology, and they really don't want us on their platform. I think Google doesn't want. I don't think Google wants Meme the Left on YouTube.
No, because if they let things play out in a meritocracy on YouTube, and left things the way they were, when YouTube wasn't owned by Google, they wrote the algorithm for success, which is why they got big enough to be purchased by Google. It was only after they're owned by Google that they decided, well, they want to start altering the algorithm to fit political beliefs. Well, that hurts you guys in the long run, and that hurts the platform in the long run. I love making YouTube content. I want YouTube to be successful. And the best way for them to be successful, don't censor anybody. Don't censor the Young Turks. Don't censor Meme the Left. Don't censor Steven Crowder. Don't censor anybody, and let people decide who they want to watch with views. If you get pissy, if you get your feelings hurt by watching somebody's YouTube channel, you could just not watch the YouTube channel, fool. I mean, no one's making you watch this. And they go, well, he's got too many views. He's an alt influencer. He's got who out there has a bunch of views saying stupid stuff? No, I mean, you can't go out there and do that kind of stuff and then expect the platform to be healthy.
No, it's so true. I love it that there's channels on the left of the political spectrum that are still doing good. You know, there's David Pakman. I think it's David Pakman, and then Tim Pool. He's kind of middle kind of left. I kind of think that I am sort of like middle right. I'm kind of like opposite Tim Pool in some ways. So the distance between us is not, there's not a big massive gap like between us. We're not like here and here. We're sort of like in the middle, in the middle there. So yeah, I love YouTube. I've been a voracious consumer of YouTube content. Barely watch any TV or maybe the occasional Netflix, but I love YouTube channels like yours, and there's probably like about 10, 15 others that are on my daily feed that I'm like consuming channels. So I'm consuming content. So when I see like YouTube working against us, they don't want us here. I think us people on the right, we don't mind it. The people on the left are too scared to kind of offend. That's why they don't really get memes. I think that they're like on the right. The right is rambunctious. The right is rebellious. The right is just this cracking big party. That's how I see the right of the political spectrum. Is like I want to be hanging out with the dude who's got like running around with his shirt off and with a flag over his head, and it's like I want to hang out with those people. There was a Twitter video at a Trump rally, and one of the leftists was mocking it because there was a dude, and and he had his shirt off, and he was a rather large gentleman, and he had an American flag, and he was waving it over his head. And there was a woman there had an American dress on with a dress made out of the American flag, and she had a banner, and they were having fun, and they were at a rally, a Donald Trump rally, and one of the leftists posted the video saying, "Oh, glad we don't have these people at our rallies." I want to hang out with the fun people, and that to me, the right is fun. The right is like it's rebellious, and we that's why we love memes, because memes can offend people, but they're funny, and they're like so I think that's why I love I love the whole meme culture. I don't spend any time on like 4chan, all those sort of channels, but Reddit. I love the memes that come out over Reddit. And how salty the left gets over the memes, and I think that memes had a lot to do with Trump winning. All the memes that came out, memes give you a whole lot of information. You can download a ton of information in one image.
Yeah.
So I think that they're enormously powerful as like a political weapon going into 2020. So how do you see things? As we progress up to 2020, obviously increased. Obviously, the things are going to keep ratcheting up. Do you think that we hit like 2020 and there's like this? It's done. You know what I mean? It's like everyone take a breath, or do you think it just sort of keeps?
No.
Do you think it just like the election, like 2020 is like we're moving towards this big point on the timeline, and things are going. If we thought things were crazy in 2016, I think 2020 will make 2016 seem like maybe 20 years ago.
I thought after 2016, the day that Trump was elected, or the next day when I woke up, I was like, okay, finally this political rhetoric will die down. All right, dude's in. We're going to it'll be 3 years before we have to deal with this crap again, because in this country, it was bananas leading up to 2016. And here we are, they're getting ready for 2020, and the rhetoric's hotter. And so I think what's going to happen is the fight right now is actually within the Democratic Party. You can actually see what's going on with the squad. You got they're communists. You got the straight up communists versus the we want to rob you old fashioned Democrats, and their fight within their party is going to set the tone for what happens after 2020. So either they can steal the election from Trump, which I don't think they're going to be able to get. Listen, if Hillary Clinton couldn't steal it from Trump, I don't think any of these nimrods that are currently running are going to be able to do it. But Trump gets into 2020, and you're going to watch the Democrat Party eat itself alive. And it'll be really interesting to see what happens when you've got somebody who was a bartender 6 months ago, essentially leading the vanguard to take down the multi-billion-dollar old dog Democrats, because that doesn't make any sense. People hopefully will start asking questions, but them falling apart is going to, that party needs to die off and be reformed. They either need to decide if they want to be moderates or if they want to be communists.
So I think that there's two parties right now. You have the Democrat far left, and they should be two parties. There needs to be like a split. The Democrats can't survive if they've got this far left fringe of socialist communists, the squad. That they've got to break off and form their own party. I think they've got to say, that's it. We're done with you moderates. The war. There needs to be a split. But it's good for Trump. It's good for Trump that that they're at war with each other. And was there a picture the other day with Nancy Pelosi and AOC? Big smiles. Got the hug Nancy. They got the photo together. What a crock that is. I mean, absolute crock. I mean, you got the old. I said it was like the old guard of the Democrat, but it's really two separate parties. It's not the one. Justice Democrats want to come in and take over the Democrat. The Democrats, they should have just formed their own party and treated the Democrats the same way they treat the Republicans, like an enemy, because they are enemies. They're not what's the word? There's not frenemy. But they're not. They're in. But the squad. Such a young. The upstarts. The super progressives. They got a lot of social media attention, but can't do anything in Congress. Can you pass a bill? That's why Nancy Pelosi. That's why she said, "Oh, there's only like 5 of them." In other words, there's only like 5 votes in Congress. What can they do? What power do they have? They don't have any power. They have a lot of social media influence. They have a lot of attention. But if it comes to actually getting like some legislation through the Congress, they have. It's like, as Nancy says, it's like 5 votes. It's like 5 people. It's like 5 votes. So I think that whole side of things is hilarious.
Yeah, what we're seeing is that the Justice Democrats have infiltrated the Democratic Party, and they want the brand. And they don't have power within. They can't pass votes. They can't write bills or get any of the bills pushed forward because there's not a lot of them. But they know that their power lies within social media. And Nancy Pelosi, or whoever is running Nancy Pelosi, is watching this evolution of power, where Nancy Pelosi was the powerful one because she had all the corporate Dem money backing her, but she doesn't have all of the voices. The people following Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Twitter account also don't have any power. These are all nimrods. But there's this sense of power. That's why they always tell you how many Instagram followers AOC has. It's a way to it's an appeal to authority through her social media following, and they're trying to grow that as the power base. Nobody should be paying those 4 idiots in the squad any attention. They're all freshmen representatives. They have no power. They have no experience. They've got nothing to their name. But look at what's going on. Nancy Pelosi still has to hold these fake photo ops with AOC today. AOC wags her like a dog. It's very interesting to watch this because you see this merger of tech power. All the people behind the Justice Democrats are tech giants.
So where do you see the this sort of heading? Do you think that eventually they'll split? Do you think the party splits in 2, or do you think that they all sort of like try and get along and just pretend to get along, just to sort of unite against Trump?
It looks like it's very hard for them to even pretend that they're getting along. I mean, AOC just called Nancy Pelosi a racist the other day, and then they got to get together. See, the problem with them pretending that they're getting along is that Trump's a genius. All right? That dude, he specifically manipulates each side into different at different times they need to run in and support each other, and at different times they need to run in and attack each other, and he's playing them. He's better at social media than all of them, and he's better at running Congress than all of them. And so watching them attack each other, we're going to see more of that. But to get into deep Alex Jones conspiracy, I think those Justice Democrats are essentially a Trojan horse. The Justice Democrats have a lot of tech behind them, and the tech giants are the ones who in this country and in this world at this point control 90% of the communication. And when they can shut off half the political spectrum, or they can manipulate, listen, half this place thinks that Trump's a racist because he told 4 chicks to clean up their own mess. That's the power of the tech giants. The tech giants are flexing their censorship power and their perception of reality powers with 4 individuals. All right, now if that number gets higher, then they'll start getting power in the Congress to push forward legislation, and then we're in real trouble because those are all outright communists. That Green New Deal is a total communist sham.
Well, that's right. That was just a joke. Just implementing a whole lot of socialist, communist policies under the Trojan horse of protecting the environment and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, I definitely, it was a genius move how Trump just came out and started attacking the squad, and just at that point when the squad when it looked like that they were infight, the infighting in between the squad, Nancy Pelosi, AOC calls Nancy Pelosi a racist, and it's like, and then when Trump came out and started attacking the squad, everyone was like, no, man, let them destroy themselves. But Trump was 2 moves ahead. It was 2 moves ahead. And I'm not sure if it's all Trump. I see Trump as maybe he's got this team of marketing experts in some room somewhere, and they've got all the analytics. Because it's strange, Trump came out and attacked the squad just after those, remember those polls were released that showed that Omar had like a 9% favorability amongst like swing voters. So I like to think that there's this team in a room, and there's a whole lot of whiteboards around, and they got a whole bunch of computers, and they got all these stats and analytics, and Trump walks into the room and says like, what's happening? Well, give me the lowdown. And some nerd comes up and rattles off a whole lot of numbers. We've got an algorithm worked out. And Trump goes, yeah, I like that. Walks out of the room and blasts something out on Twitter that he's got from, that's how I perceive. I'm not sure if it's just, all Trump thinking this. I hope he does have this team. I hope he's got these nerds with all the computers and the whiteboards and the analytics and the data. Yeah, I hope that's behind the scenes. I think it is.
He's fighting. This isn't. There's no way it could just be one person.
Yeah.
Because you got to sleep. I mean, there's so like just trying to get 3 videos up on YouTube a day and keep the lights on in my house is hard enough. I can't imagine what it's like to fight off an entire Democrat Party and the tech giants and the media. Now he's got to have the left loves going, oh, he declared bankruptcy 3 times. He's an idiot. Now, this dude took $1 million and turned it into multi-billions of dollars. This guy knows how to hire managers. He knows how to put people around who know what they're doing. Right. He's got a team around him, and has the left gained any power on this man? No, I don't think so. And has the media over 2+ years now, who've done nothing but smear him and call him a racist, hurt him in the eyes of the American people? No, dude's poll numbers are up. So whoever's running his team, give those dudes a raise.
No, it was genius. And even a lot of the YouTube commentators, when Trump made those comments, saying that they should go back, they're like, no, you've messed it up, man. We've stuffed the whole game. You've done it, so it's all over. And then like 2 days later, I mean, even like Tim Pool, he kind of made oh no, this is bad. And then 2 days later, he says, oh yeah, I might need to wind that back a little bit. I liked him. He admitted when he made a mistake. That's quite all right. That's perfectly acceptable. But it's just this whole, he was definitely 2 moves ahead here. And now do we see, are they going to keep rallying around the squad? And there's one thing as well, the squad. I mean, they could be Donald Trump's re-election campaign committee. I put a video. This could be the committee. Omar, she could be the head of the committee. All the Trump rallies from now on, just put up a video of Omar, unedited. Have Omar
and her brother.
Put all Donald Trump's a lot of his advertising right now. Just have videos of Omar talking, because the more this woman talks, I mean, the better it just gets for Trump. She just keeps put 100 cameras on Omar, put all the mics there, line her up, give her as much spotlight. And I will guarantee you, Nancy Pelosi, these people are going to try and silence Omar, pull her back into the shadows a little bit. Trump has given Omar way too much, exposure, way too much attention. And I think that's 100% purposeful. And I think that Trump might know something about Omar that maybe we don't know. I think that I think, didn't you allude to it in your live stream? There's obviously the issue with her brother, how she was admitted to being culturally married to her.
So they've got at bare minimum, you have tax documents that she filed that say she's married to one person at one point, married to another person at the same point. So she's at least filed tax records that are fraudulent. And so even the mainstream media can't ignore that. I mean, they don't talk about it, but I should say they can't ignore it. They can ignore it. They've got no problem ignoring it. But there are a few outlets, even her hometown newspaper affiliates are acknowledging that she's got fraudulent tax records. Now, why does she have fraudulent tax records? And then you could go into a deep dive, because then it goes all into, we don't have anything tangible yet. But what we do know is that she came over with a bunch of Somalis in the 90s. 70-something% of those people who came over in the 90s were coming over under family refugee status, aren't technically family members of the people who they came under with, because gasp, who's surprised with this? They don't keep great records in Somalia. And so sneaking people in, they're human smuggling. So you'll have one family that says, oh, you want your daughter to come over under a visa? Well, you pay us 10 grand and she'll come over. And then, by the way, we'll marry her off to our nephew so then he can come over. But then it turns out that dude's related to her. It's all very bizarre. But at bare minimum, even in her own campaign, they have to acknowledge that she's got these extraordinarily awkward paper trails. And from her own campaign headquarters, she had to release somebody leaked this email where she's talking to one of her staff people saying, no, we really got to get out in front of me being culturally married to this dude. But these stupid wankers won't understand what the difference is between culturally married and technically married. And I'm sitting there going, that's devastating.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to logical people. So she's got a ton of baggage, and Trump's got a small room, I'm sure, with 5 people in it, and they've got all of the records that she had to file with the IRS. And you need a license to cough in this state. So I imagine they've got all of these records, and they've probably got enough to nuke her whenever they want. And so dragging her and the squad out in front of the Democrat Party is a way of putting a Damocles sword above their head.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely think it'll drop probably in the next. I hope it drops not too long before the election. Maybe 2 or 3 months before the election. Let keep it out there. I love the sword. You talked about the sword just dangling over their head, and let it drop. Maybe 2 months before the election. So I definitely think there's a longer play. Trump with Omar. And and where there's smoke, there's fire. And you even got like mainstream media starting to talk about, but I think they're talking about it too soon. Just like, cool it down a little. Let's get closer to the election, and let's drop the bomb or release the whatever it is, maybe 2 to 3 months before the election, and that'll devastate the left in the election. But even now, I mean, who are the presidential candidates? I mean, have they been in the news? Like, everything's about the squad. I mean, they're casting this enormous shadow over these presidential candidates, and the candidates are supposed to be the front and center. The presidential candidate, the Democratic presidential candidate, that's supposed to be front and center. But what's front and center? Trump has put the squad front and center.
Yeah.
He is, and so I think he's going to keep the squad front and center, and that's I will be making as many videos I can about the squad, keeping them front and center as we're running up to 2020. But who have you heard too much about the presidential candidates lately? I mean, it's
No, they don't run you've got 20 something people still running for the Democratic candidate, and you get way more press on Ilhan Omar and AOC. They get way more press. All of those people on who are running, they're all polling. They're happy to pull that 1%. And it's only a race between Biden and I don't know, maybe Biden, Warren, and Kamala Harris are probably the only ones who have any viability. But still, the media doesn't talk about any of those anywhere near as much as they talk about the squad. And I think that's because of Trump's genius. I think a lot of people. Do you listen to Styx, Hexenhammer?
Oh,
Yeah. I think he's the first person I know that came out and he was like, Trump's dragging these morons out in front of the Democratic Party as a way to hurt Joe Biden, because Joe Biden was polling really high. And now Joe Biden's not. You see Joe Biden get knocked down. Then Kamala Harris was up for a week, and then Harris was down, and Warren was up. And meanwhile, everybody's attention is on the socialists that Trump is dragging out to the forefront of this party. And I think that hurts the entire party as a whole, because Americans don't want socialism.
No, that's right. That's the thing I love about America is the capitalist land of opportunity. You want to come and work hard, you can succeed. But the whole pushing this angle of socialism, I don't see how that is a winner for the people, for the votes. How is that a vote winner? I don't understand.
It will be in a generation. The all of our college institutions in this country are heavily pushing socialism and maybe even communism, but socialism for sure. And so when you pull people in the university systems in America, they are for socialism. They hate capitalism. All these 20-year-olds with $4,000 if they're lucky, $200,000 worth of debt and no wisdom or experience behind them think socialism is great and capitalism is racist. And so if they can maintain, they're not. This isn't going to happen in the next few years. But you get another generation of people being taught this in these indoctrination stations. Man, you will get people willing to throw out capitalism, because right now I think it's 60% for capitalism, 40% for socialism. But 2 generations from now, for sure, they'll invert that easily if we let them keep doing what they're doing.
I like you said, indoctrinate. Would you say indoctrination station or?
Yeah, yeah. They're just they're not letting kids have any type of. You can't debate any of these people in these colleges. If you can't debate, if you can't have a healthy dialogue, and by the way, all of the college professors, it's something like 78% are all lefty votes. And then in the social studies and the liberal arts colleges, it's like 90% lefties. I mean, they don't even have right-leaning people in these institutions. And if you're not allowed to have a debate, if you're not allowed to offer, listen, we've got a socialism class that says socialism is great, but we also have a capitalism class that says capitalism is great. If you don't allow for that and you only offer one side, that's indoctrination. That's not education.
No, that's right. I mean, I see a lot of the videos. They're so frustrating when these people go on these campuses. And they're trying to talk to people, and they have these leftists just screaming, you're not allowed to talk. You have ideas that are offensive to us. That no, we need to shut all that down. Where's the strength in debate? They're supposed to go to these places to broaden their knowledge, to broaden their minds, and be exposed to new ideas, challenging ideas, and but now they're just like you go to these places, we'll put you in an insane amount of debt, and you'll get your liberal arts degree or whatever that you're not going to be able to use get a job for, and then but we're going to make sure that no one offends you while you're there. We're going to keep you in a very safe. There will be no conservatives there who will concern you with their evil, right-leaning conservative ideologies. I find that insane, and we kind of have that in Australia too, to a smaller degree. But the videos that where they have on the campuses, they're some of my favorite videos to watch. I mean, there's just if someone is on a campus over there and they're trying to set up, they have like a conservative table, like a little bench, and they will just get like attacked. It's
They get milkshaked.
It's madness. So that's right. The whole the whole milkshaking. There's that circling back to that. We've just lost that discourse. We've lost that. What was the word word you used? Decorum.
Decorum.
We're just
It's civility.
Yeah, civility. That's right.
They think it's fine to assault people, and they go, "Well, it's just water or just milkshake." You listen. Once you cross that line where you think it's okay to throw something at another individual because you don't like what they're thinking, you're the fascist.
Definitely true. It's so ironic that they are the real fascists, but yet then they're claiming that everyone else is a fascist, everyone else is a Nazi, everyone else is virtually Hitler. I find it. I find it. I just shake my head when I reading over the news. I'm thinking, especially like celebrities. How can these people be so insane? How can they be so? Yeah, it's sometimes. Most days I'm just lost for words at how, even over the last 6 months since I started the channel, things have just really escalated, and it's just. Where will we be? Where will we be 6 months from now? It's there's a part of me is just like reveling. Let's just get into it. Let's just get into the fight. But a part of me is like worried. Maybe we're seeing the very fabric of society almost like being torn. We had this almost like this social kind of contract agreement. In civilization, with this certain amount of civility amongst people if we disagree, but that's going. I see that's just it's like the contract of civility has just been torn up.
Yeah, I think there's it's the growing pains of technology just exploding. Technology getting. We've never been so connected across this planet. I mean, the fact that I'm in California or in Australia and we can have a conversation like this in front of 100+ people. You couldn't do this a year or two ago. But not with this ease, I think. It's getting easier and easier to communicate. And as this technology gets so incredible, it's being used to manipulate. I think definitely you're seeing with censorship and the fact that you're not allowed to have a certain type of opinion on these tech platforms. That's the same thing that you saw when the printing press gets created. All of a sudden you can start making more people literate, but then you can also start changing their you can start silencing some books and producing more propaganda. And this just seems like we keep going in this cycle of people exploiting these big explosions in technology. And I think that's what we're seeing a lot with what's going on in today's politics, is that it's easy for one side, communists and lefties, to fight when they can shut down the communication of millions of other people that they disagree with.
That's right. I mean, we want the fight. We want the game. It's like a game of whatever, it's a game of sport. I want a strong opponent, and I like to, fight. But I don't want my hands tied behind my back when I'm in the fight. I mean, I want a good, fair fight. And the left really, I don't think they can fight fair. I don't think they have strong arguments. I don't think they want to fight fair. I think that they know they have a weak argument. All their arguments are not really that strong. You put them under the pressure of the right, and a lot of their arguments just fall aside. So that's why they have to censor. They have to remove us out of the fight, or if we're in the fight, we have to have both our hands tied behind our back, and they're allowed to swing freely, especially on YouTube. The left. Oh, they're saying these days even some of the left are being censored on YouTube as well. Some of the left are having their channels censored almost in the same way as the right. I mean, yet they're the ones who are screaming for censorship, and it's just going to come back and bite them as well. So yeah, no, censorship. It's the big issue for me because it's taking away that discourse, and when we stop talking. I think that's a bad time. That's a bad place when only one group of people is allowed to have a voice, and that's the people who are deemed that 4 tech billionaires in Silicon Valley, they got together and they decided who has a voice, and that's what's. I'm more. We're at the stage now. You talked about how the Justice Democrats were tied in with big tech. Well, that's a good connection there because I think we're at the stage now where 4 billionaires in Silicon Valley are more powerful than the governments of this world.
Yeah,
it's
for sure. You got 4 tech giants within 12 miles of each other in Silicon Valley, and they're pushing the agenda right now. I mean, for an entire Democrat Party, I mean, they're the ones pushing their weight around. And that should frighten people. People need to start seeing that Silicon Valley is essentially a foreign operating institution. Even though it's in California and it's in the U.S., it has ideology that is antithetical to our belief structure in here. They don't want free speech, right? They don't like people that have guns, and they don't want political discourse, and they don't want difference of opinions. But yet they have all of this power, and they're trying to radically change this country.
So you could almost say that there's almost like a foreign country, another, as you said, like a foreign power. They're like inside of America. So you've got an entity, call it a foreign power or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, they're working against what's in the best interest of the people, and they're not supporting free speech. They're not supporting good discourse. Does the American government step in? Is there going to be do you think that there's going to be like some kind of like what do they call it, anti-monopoly or breaking them up, or do you think something's going to happen?
Well, that's my big fear. I think the government will step in, but the government's so ham-fisted they can't do anything right, and they will. I know it sounds good to have people say, well, we're going to break up Google, we're going to break this up, but they never really break these entities up. If you ever take a look at, we used to have a gigantic telecom, Ma Bell in this country, and they made them break up, but then they reform. I mean, the people who run these businesses are smarter at running and hiding their businesses from us. And so if you break Google up into 1,000 pieces, Google will just make it look like it'll be 999 shell companies still run by Google, and it'll be even harder to escape them. The thing that sucks is that competition. I wish the government would just say, look, it's very simple. You have Section 215 immunity if you're a platform. If you're a platform, you're not allowed to censor people because once you start censoring people, you're now a publisher. So you need to pick and choose. Are you a goddamn publisher or are you a platform? And if you're not a platform, then you lose that immunity. And if we just enforce the rules that are already there, we'd be fine. I'm deathly afraid of adding more rules. The more complicated that you make this, the more room for shenanigans.
That's right. So where do you see like your channel like 12 months from now?
Nuked.
Do you really think you? Well, that's true. That's true. It's like every day. First thing I basically do when I get up is, am I still on YouTube? Like, oh, the channel's still there. Well, this is good. We've had a good start to the day. So you think like 12 months from now it'll be like July 2020? What subjects do you think you'll be? What videos do you think you'll be making?
So I think we're going to the pop culture is getting hotter and hotter and hotter as they go into another phase with these Marvel movies. They're just virtue signaling off the roof, and so I see a lot more culture war videos from the pop culture section for the channel, and then the news for politics, like straight politics stuff. it's so hard to keep up. And so I think what I'll end up doing for my channel is maybe doing like a nightly or I'll probably move it around, but like an hour long, a daily hour long stream where I just go over the 15 million things that keep coming up every single day because I can't possibly make a single video for each one. And then I'm just hoping for, I want I want continued growth. The spikes are fantastic, but they bring a lot of pressure, and it's tough to deal. The pull down. Whenever I spike and then go back into a pull down, I get super depressed and just like more videos till we get more views.
You can't stay at the mountaintop.
You can't.
It is great to go up there, take a picture, look at the view, but you have to go back down. You have to.
I stress out, man.
You have to. You have to go back down the mountainside because you can't survive on the mountaintops.
It's hard. It's hard. So I think I just want that for the channel, and if we just keep tacking on 100 people a day, I'd be more than happy to just keep making content for the channel. And then my goal is to get big enough to get banned. All right, I want to get. I'm hoping that we have 100,000 subs by the time we get banned, boys. But the goal is to get big enough to get banned. That's when you know you've made it. When you've been channel demonetized and you've been banned, and you need a bunch of people on Twitter to get your channel pulled back up. That's the end goal for Salty Cracker.
So what would be what would be a video that you're going to make 12 months now? Just give us a fictitious scenario of say something that is just like insanely woke, like something to do with a movie. Are they going to take some character who is what would be a
I think in a year from now, you're going to see actual studio executives. You'll get Star Wars executive or a Marvel executive. You're going to get somebody coming out at that executive level, purposefully antagonizing straight white males. Like they're not even going to be able to hide it at that point. It'll just be like, well, yeah, we don't even, we're making a new studio over here. They'll put out a job listing for a studio, and it'll be no white people allowed. It won't even be like, we're looking for POCs. It'll just say no white people. I seen a CBC thing like that a while ago, and I think that it's going to come from a major Hollywood studio within the next year.
Yeah. I liked your video of the Batwoman, the review, and how the review. that was.
I was just sitting there going, there's not a single positive thing in this article. Like the entire article, another guy posted a video where they're comparing it to Dark. Is it the one with Heath Ledger's Joker? I think that's Dark Knight Rises, which is one of the best Batman movies of all time. I'm sitting there going, no positive, and it's still a 6 out of 10. It's this woke privilege. Like you're not allowed to point out that these movies suck. You're not allowed to point. You find me a mainstream media article that said Captain Marvel sucks. Meanwhile, everybody acknowledges that it's at best a mediocre movie, but you're not allowed to point out the obvious because of strong wham and lead.
That's right. I mean, the thing with the whole Brie Larson thing and talking about, it's so good that we have a strong female lead. What about the 50 movies that were, the Alien franchise, there was so many amazing movies with so many amazing women. But they didn't shove it into there. It wasn't like, I'm here to be a feminist. It was like, Sigourney Weaver. That's the baddest ass chick in Alien that I've ever seen. Alien movies with Sigourney Weaver in. I think that's like, if you want to talk about real feminism, Sigourney Weaver. But it wasn't like something they shoved in your face. It was here's this hard as nails, tough woman, and she's the lead. I mean, everyone loved it. Everyone loved it back then. I don't get why Brie Larson has to stand up there like she's on some kind of pulpit. I don't get it.
Captain Marvel would have been fine. Everybody would have been fine with Captain Marvel, but they came out and they said, this is now the head of the Avengers going forward. This is what we're pinning the Marvel franchise on going forward. And then she had to open her mouth and crap on white dudes. Well, nobody should be able to sustain that type of if they would have just said, listen, hey guys, we're making a Captain Marvel movie. First of all, they're already doing this. Hey guys, we're making a Black Widow movie. Nobody's saying anything bad about Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow movie because Scarlett Johansson's not running around saying white people should shut the hell up. Right? They're not saying they stepped on their own social justice warrior tail and then cried foul. Like, you can have a strong female lead movie. Guys, make a Jean Grey movie that doesn't suck, and I'll be more than happy to go watch it. Right? You could make a movie about Storm, and if it didn't suck, we'd go watch it. But stop telling everybody these movies are so great because men are stupid or men suck. Like they only want to build women up by pushing men down. They don't get that. That's going to piss us off.
So what's the whole deal with Thor's hammer? I'm not quite into the that side of the culture. You know, Thor.
Sure.
Thor being
so
the new Thor. What was it?
Thor is a very popular character now because Chris Hemsworth did a fantastic job portraying that character. Maybe not the first two movies, but in the Avengers movies and the last Ragnarok movie, people like Chris Hemsworth. So the fan base wants more Chris Hemsworth to play Thor. But in 2014, you had a very limited run of a comic book series where the Natalie Portman character in the movies, she's in the comic books as well. It's his Jane Foster character. And Thor, Mjolnir becomes disenfranchised, or Thor himself is not able to wield Mjolnir. And Mjolnir chooses Natalie Portman's character, Jane Foster, to be the new Thor. And what happens during this time period is she has cancer. And so Natalie Portman's character, Jane Foster, has cancer, but then she picks up Mjolnir. She becomes Thor. This is not a storyline that anybody liked. All right, the comic book didn't sell that well. They only made about 30 issues of this comic, and 30 sounds like a lot, but when you look at something like Spider-Man, there's a billion different issues of Spider-Man. 30 is absolutely nothing. Thor's been around since 1962, by the way. So, talking about 3 years out of 60 is a very insignificant amount of time. The woman version of Thor, the storyline, is not anything that anybody's interested in, but it fits Marvel's continued mantra of we're going to make these movies going forward all female. And so while nobody's interested in that storyline, nobody interested enough to buy the comic books, they take this storyline and jam it forward. And people who are much more well-versed in Thor than myself are pointing out that there's other variations of Thor. Beta Ray Bill is a version of Thor. You got a Strike Force, not Strike Force. There's different variations of them, but they're specifically picking this Jane Foster version so they can get people to be upset about it. So then they can say, look at all these white racist men. They only hate it because we're putting a woman forward. And we're sitting there going, you picked a portion that you couldn't sell comic books off of. That's what we're upset about.
That's right. So yeah, just make good movies, make good TV, and just leave all the social justice pandering, leave all that bullshit just out, and let's get out of. But we know it's not going to happen. We know they're going to keep pushing their narratives. They're going to keep And do you think that they're motivated? Do you think there's this an ideological motivation, or do you think this is where they see the money? Do you think that they've had a whole bunch of analysts say, "Oh, you must go, you must push these social justice narratives because this is where the growth is in the market," or do you think this is just pure ideology?
So this is where straight up conspiracy theorist. I think that I think very clearly China has invested a lot of money into Hollywood. China owes movie studios money, and movie studios have gone to court to try to get their money from China, and they've lost. All right, so when you go, that tells me China's in charge, and I think China likes taking these movies and making people upset. Captain Marvel, the Star Wars franchise, the Marvel rhetoric in the direction that it's going. when you appeal to 2% of the population but piss off 30-40% of the population, it makes me wonder what the hell you're thinking. You're way better off making a Punisher movie than you are a Captain Marvel movie. Why are you giving up that money? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You should make a Punisher movie where Captain Marvel's introduced, or Captain Marvel comes in for 10 seconds, and you can build out. I think they don't seem very interested in building out any of these franchises for longevity. They seem interested in either quick cash grabs or pissing off fans. Because when you have Disney come out and say, we're going to make a Black Panther, we're going to make the sister be the new Black Panther, and it pisses everybody off, ABC News, which is owned by Disney, then gets to point out, well, look at all these racists who don't like this going on, or we look at all these misogynists, and it helps them perpetuate this notion that there's more angry white males out there than there really are. Listen, no one's going to attack you because they're so upset about a Captain Marvel movie. But ABC 7 News will the article after article after article of all these dudes who are supposedly so pissed at Natalie Portman being Thor. These lefties who read these articles then get this impression that there's an angry white dude around every corner, when it's not really true. I think it's a very complicated situation of why they're pissing off core fandom to make these stupid comic book movies.
So you see that it's almost like an attack on the, as you said, like attack on Whitey. Whitey's probably a bad word for it, but the movie companies, they'll come up, the studios, and then the news companies will feed off. Oh, there's a whole lot of angry people because we're turning this character, and then it's kind of like they're both feeding off each other. Do you think that there's a bigger attack, kind of like something happening?
Yeah, so you've got a bunch of lefties out there who've been told that they're oppressed by straight white men, and and a lot of the lefties have this mentality that there's an angry the patriarchy's out there. The patriarchy's out to get them. ABC, all mainstream media outlets will tell them this. Where's the proof? The proof is hard to find. But if you can make a Star Wars movie and then piss off half the fan base, well, then you can start making article after article after article about all these angry white men, and it reinforces into the lefty's head that these people are everywhere, when in reality, we're just going to work every day, and we're slightly upset that you guys are killing off characters that we love.
Oh, that's right.
But we're not going to rip your hijab off if we see you on the street. It's just it. But the lefty thinks this. Because they got all these articles.
No, so it's like a self-reinforcing, I wouldn't call it like prophecy, or like a self-reinforcing belief that
it's the Hegelian dialectic.
That's right.
It's order out of chaos, and so they know what order they want to offer us, which is more SJW bullshit. But they got to create the chaos that goes with it, and so it feeds, and then they make a bunch of money off of it by putting it out into for longevity. It doesn't make any sense. Right, you got $1 billion Captain Marvel franchise, but you haven't even announced a sequel yet. That doesn't make any sense. Like they're making money, but then they're also creating this monster that they've put into the lefty's head at the same time.
No, that's right. So as you said, the Black Marvel movie is what are they? Is it in production now, or is it? Are they going to make it? Or have they started to make it?
Well, they've got a whole slate of movies that they're putting forward for Marvel. They just released their MCU plan for Phase 4, and I think there was something like 8 different movies and television shows involved in that. And what they're doing as they start dripping these out is that they're swapping all of the characters in and out. So if you're a white male, they'll change it to a chick, or the Black Panther you just had a successful Black Panther movie, and they're already talking about taking the dude out and putting the sister in. And it's just funny because you can see nobody's safe from social justice warriors, right? Even the black males aren't safe. You're going to lose your comic book characters too. So it's getting crazy.
So Scarlett Johansson, she was in trouble recently for her comments saying she should be able to play any character, and I agree. I thought, wow, when she came out and made these comments, I thought, oh, this is like every now and then a little bit of truth kind of seeps out into and it's like, well, I thought, wow, this is brave. I thought she's going to pay for this, and of course she got the backlash.
Yeah, she was just repeating the media narrative from the week before when people were saying, listen, why are you white people upset that a black Little Mermaid is going to be in the next live action movie? Anybody should be able to play any character. And so Scarlett Johansson thought that was, she was like, oh, yeah, I believe that too. So I'm going to go out and say that. And they said, no, 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 not you. You're white. You don't get to play every character you want. And she seemed confused because she doesn't have her SJW handbook nearby. Different rules for different colored people. And I think that's abhorrent. I don't like this idea of protected classes. Yeah. If the left runs on this narrative that they want equality, screw that. They don't want equality. No. They want equity. Yeah. White people need to be punished for sins of the past. Right. And so we can push those people down in order to elevate the oppressed masses of the other. And I'm sitting there going, you're only going to end up creating oppressed people in the future. If you want equality, then we need to treat everybody. We used to have the golden rule, real simple. Treat everybody how you want to be treated. Yep. No protected classes. If there's protected classes, it means there's you can only have protected classes if there's classes that are open season on.
No, spot on. So wasn't there issues with the Black Widow movie? They're talking about the people on the left are not happy with the Black Widow movie. They're not. I saw something about that. Was there anything there?
Oh, I haven't seen anything yet.
Oh, okay.
These people are upset at everything. Yeah. We're upset that Black Widow wasn't recast as an Asian woman or something.
Or shouldn't she,
it's hard to keep up with them.
Shouldn't she be black? Or I guess.
Yeah. I'm starting to think you guys, you're turning everybody black. When are you gonna start hitting some of the other oppressed races out there? I want to see some more Indian people, some Pakistani people, some Native Americans, some Aboriginals, and let's spread the wealth a little bit.
Hey, switching gears a little bit, back to Mueller. What did you think? What did you think of the whole Mueller circus?
I thought that was fascinating. I thought that was absolutely fascinating. You know that the day that was going down, there were a bunch of lefties in Washington going, who the hell thought this was a good idea? The guy didn't seem to know anything. There's a dude out there with a Mueller time tattoo. He has got to be he's got to be so pissed off that he got that. He looked like some sort of old man Magoo. He looked like he was lost. I felt bad for him. I was like, shit, somebody give that dude some pep pills.
How many times can the left lose on this issue? I think there has been 3 distinct phases where they've lost regarding Mueller. I remember it was the first phase was when the Barr released the report, the overview of the Mueller investigation. Yeah. That was the first. I kind of remember it because I make videos, and that was like the first big whaling session that the left had because there was no collusion, no obstruction, and then there was another loss, and then they've had this when they brought Mueller back in. They dragged Granddad out of the old age home. What is it with this guy? He's like, was he intentionally stupid? Was he? I see some analysis saying that obviously he didn't want to come back before the committee. He made his little speech and he dropped his mic and he said, "That's all from me. I'm done." And I think the dude wants to just go play canasta. He just wants to get in the golf buggy and just say, "I'm done." And yeah, I'm done with the whole circus. What he's like, late 70s. He's probably only got 5-7 years left, in life. If you're in your late 70s, I think the average, 83, 85. If you can make it that far, I think you're doing pretty good. So he's probably thinking, I'm done with politics. I'm done. If he's in the middle of this political shitstorm, who would want to be there? Who would want to be there? And you think, I've got 7 years left. I should be playing canasta. I should be playing golf. I should be on my boat. I should be out chasing the blue marlin, sort of thing. So I think they dragged him back in there, and he just was like, I'm not giving you anything. He was like.
Yeah, I was absolutely confused by the entire thing. I figured, I don't know what's going on, but the way that I initially perceived it was they used him. They needed a figurehead for this witch hunt, and they needed somebody. If you just look at how they originally framed this, like, oh my God, we got Robert Mueller. He's the G man. He's going to be able to get this done. He's a straight arrow. He's got 80 million years of experience. And I think he was outplaying Canasta. I think he was, and a group of people who hate Trump were all doing all of the legwork. Because it seemed like he didn't know what the hell was in his own report.
So true.
And I get that he didn't sit there and write the report, but I've managed a small team of people. I knew everything they were doing, because if they screwed up, it was my ass. And so to see this dude just not know, like, he didn't seem to want to answer anything, and I couldn't tell if that's because he didn't know what the hell he was talking about, or again, maybe he was just being stonewalling everybody. But the entire thing came off so bad. If you're a lefty and you thought that went well for you, I want some of that Kool-Aid you're drinking, because that's got to be a hell of a buzz.
And the funny thing was, after the after the whole thing went down, you had your Bill Maher, had people on the left giving honest appraisal about Michael Moore, and that, man, it was a disaster. You guys stuffed it, you screwed it up. And then you had the celebrities screaming for impeachment. I don't know what world they're living on, what version of reality they're watching. It's like impeachment is dead. It is dead. But they came out and they started screaming louder. I mean, they were. I don't understand that. I really don't. I mean, obviously they're pushing for this one thing they want, but they're not getting. There's nothing worse than wanting something you can't have. Celebrities, they have millions of dollars, they have everything, they have fame, they want this one thing, and it's like they're not getting this one thing. They want Donald Trump impeached. So I don't get what. Obviously, the rhetoric, they want him impeached, but can't they just say, okay, we admit it, we lost? Can't they just...
No, they won't.
No, that's right. That would be like a sane person would at this point say, okay, maybe impeachment, maybe it's not going to happen. We're just going to have to cop a loss. But no one seems to cop a loss these days. No one wants to cop a loss. No one wants to lose. But, they're going to have to lose.
Last week, the House Democrats put forward a motion to impeach President Trump. If you lefties out there, especially you Hollywood elites, if Alyssa Milano can stop crying for a second and Michael Moore could stop eating for a second, if you guys are so upset and you still want your impeachments, why aren't you dragging the left for not impeaching him last week? You guys held the vote. Nobody wanted to. 96 people, I think, were voted for it. That was it. You just held it. Stop whining about it. It's infuriating to listen to a group of people, a group of grown-ass adults who are perpetually whining about how they lost. It's only because these people have never played competitive sports in their life, or they've played and they didn't take score. You lost. Move forward. Build a better argument. Build a better platform. But they just sit there and they whine. And if you call them out on it, you're racist.
Well, that's right. It's interesting. You talk about the analogy of being an athlete. I'm a very competitive athlete. I'm a very competitive cyclist. And if you lose a race, I think, oh, what did I do wrong? How did I?
Yes.
Why did I lose that race? And then I got okay. I need to work on this. And the next race I do, I'm like, I'm remembering the previous race and the mistakes I made, and I will correct those mistakes for the next race. But the left, they don't seem to be correcting any mistakes. I mean, they're just even Hillary Clinton really hasn't conceded she lost the Trump. Stacey Abrams lost the governor race. Still says that she didn't lose. I mean, they can't. You should admit that you lost and learn why you lost. Come back stronger. Come back better.
Yeah, you have to learn to lose. Losing's the only way to become a winner.
Yep.
Like they don't get it. That one chick from the squad, that Presley chick. I saw a whole article the other day how she still refuses. She calls Trump the occupant in chief. And I was sitting there going, "You need to grow up. Yeah. You're representing people out there. You better grow up a little bit." The dude, whether you like it or not, he is the president, and it's just this mentality of. You lose a race, you think what you can do. Like if you self-reflect. What can I do? These people project out. They're victim. They're lefties because they're victims. They got this victimhood mentality, and they can't even conceive that it's something they did
That's
wrong.
right.
Oh no, it's what you guys outside did to me. You guys oppressed me. That's why we lost. And it's like, grow up.
Hillary Clinton in a perfect nutshell right there, lost the election. It's somebody else's fault. It's Russians did it. The fake news did it. Someone over there did it. It's like everyone else but me. Don't think it's not my fault. Okay, I didn't lose the race. He cheated. Okay, the other guy.
Yeah.
The other guy was doping. He's taking blood thin. He cheated. I didn't lose. So yeah, how would it have been if she had actually come out and said, yes, we lost. We could have none of this stupid Russian collusion kind of.
Yeah.
How much energy has been wasted on a lie from the Hillary Clinton, campaign, from the people who are left over from the campaign, push this lie out over to their media assets.
Yeah, we could be at Dow 50,000. You jerk offs. If you would let this man do his job, but he's too busy fighting you guys over Russia conspiracy.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if Trump didn't have to be constantly fending off attacks from the left about Russia, what more could have been done? I think the world and especially the country has lost there. It's been a loss. All this wasted effort. All the it's just filled newspaper columns, and what has it been good for? It hasn't been good for anything.
No, and I think it's even hurt the Democratic platform. You guys, I don't see how this helps them at all. Your average lefty doesn't like Clinton anymore. She's not even a viable candidate. She might have been able to do a 2020 run if she came out and said, yeah, dude beat me. Holy balls. Maybe I should have campaigned. Maybe I shouldn't have made stupid comments about wiping my server in front of everybody. But no, she's a monster.
No, so true. I mean, when she lost that night, it was that I said like top 10 best nights of my life was watching Hillary not coming out to the
Yes.
the podium. Where they had the whole the auditorium. They had a glass ceiling. Not sure if you know, but they picked a special auditorium that had a huge ceiling made of glass. As she was going to stand under the glass ceiling, and they had this whole, we have smashed through the glass ceiling. They had this whole speech and all this rhetoric over this glass ceiling, where she has, the ultimate act of female power, the ultimate act of the feminisms, and she couldn't come out to concede that night because the whole stage was set for her victory there. The glass ceiling, everything was set for the victory, and she was in her hotel room probably throwing TVs and just out of her brain. I mean, if someone has footage of that hotel room, that was like I would want to see that footage of her losing her nut. With the people in the room, and everyone leave the room. Hillary is like, Hillary's going to just lose it. And then she came out like the next day. It's like 12, the next morning or the next afternoon it was. But she couldn't even concede on the night. And there's like thousands of people there waiting for Hillary. And they're all crying, and they're all, the leftist tears, and, we kind of laugh at it, but I feel sorry for some of them. There's some good people there. I feel they're not, that's the thing. I don't see the people all on the left as evil, but the people on the left see everyone on the right as evil. We're all marching, and we're all like, we're all in some World War II German army, according to
sent in secret codes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But that night when she lost, that was like one of the best nights of my life. Just seeing John Podesta come out there and saying that Hillary's going to keep fighting, but in reality, she's up in her room, like I don't know what she's on taken a whole bunch of pills or something. Or I don't know what was happening there.
Bill slipped her something to calm her down, I'm sure. Probably chairs stuck in the wall. The room the next day looked like something out of the Rolling Stones in the 60s or something.
Or Guns N' Roses were Axl Rose and Slash. We had a little party in that room. Yeah,
all the glass is broken.
Motley Crue, yeah, TV's out the window. It's just strange that they could have learned. And they could have just reflected, and they could have said, "We just chose a crappy candidate," and they could have worked towards getting a better candidate. But they went down the Russia. It was someone else's. It was Marussia. It was other person's fault, not their own. As like you said, they probably didn't play a lot of competitive sports where they lost. That's a good point there. I've never really looked at it on that sort of an analogy before. Yeah, but that was a great night. And I think what's going to happen, 2020, the next day after the election in 2020. I mean, I got to say, will Trump lose? I mean, if Trump loses, is it only because Google decides he's going to lose, or do they roll out some kind of like program that makes what they did in 2016 look like small? Do they roll out a full blackout of conservative voices on social media? Are search results drastically altered? Do they go a full 100%, or do they pull back?
I think what we're going to see in 2020, we got a preview of in 2018 with our midterm elections. You had a whole bunch of it doesn't matter who you vote for, it matters who counts the votes. And in 2018, we saw a number of Republican candidates who won, only to find out the next day that a van load of ballots was found in a high school gymnasium, and they were all Democrat. We saw this, I think, 3 or 4 times, and then even down the road, I think some other House seats were also picked off. And so they're going to do the same kind of stuff where they're going to mess with – Google and the tech giants have already implemented Operation Quiet Down non-lefty talk. So they've clamped down a little bit on us. But the vote counting, vote rigging will be another issue, and I don't think Trump should. In a fair fight, Trump demolishes them. Nobody's interested in what the left has to say, but it's not a fair fight. It's never been a fair. You can go back to these people in Greece voting 2,000 years ago, and they were doing shenanigans with the voting, and so I hope that he's on top of that. I know he is. Right? Hillary Clinton did it to him, and he beat her. And so whatever he's doing, I hope he just keeps his eye on them. And I don't think there's a chance in hell that they could win, even with them trying to steal it.
So who do you think's his opponent? Who's the Democrat?
Oh, it's going to be Biden.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be it's going to be Biden. Elizabeth Warren cannot win. Because she can't get through the buzzsaw that will be Trump during the debates. He's going to annihilate her. Any woman who ran around and got positions based off of saying that she was an Indian woman is just going to get absolutely murdered by Trump and the far left socialist wing of the Democratic Party. Biden can win if he implements Hillary Clinton's strategy of don't do the press. Don't talk. Don't go in front of public. Stop sniffing people, Biden. Just try to coast your way to the finish line. But once he gets to the debates, Trump is going to shine. But it'll be a 3-person race between Kamala Harris, Biden, and Warren, and Biden will win. And the craziest thing is, notice Obama hasn't come out and endorsed anybody yet.
He's quiet.
So yeah. You're quiet. Dude, you had your wingman for 8 years. That's not a shoo-in for. And so, I mean, that shows you that even the establishment, old guard Democrats, don't think Biden can actually win the presidency. And so but he'll be in the top three for whittling down this ridiculous amount of people running for them.
So who do you think's at the bottom of the ticket? Who's the running mate for Biden? It has to be. We'll have to tick through the identity politics. Has to be a person of color. Has to be a woman. Has to be preferably a lesbian. Has to be.
They pulled the social justice warrior hierarchy off the wall, and you're going to need somebody in a wheelchair. Yeah, it's going to be the pandering off a huge level, because they need as much social justice warrior fodder to offset his original sin of being a straight white male. Right. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, that's right. He's a straight white man. So it's got to be Kamala Harris. It's got to be. I don't think she's lesbian. I don't think she's I'm not sure of her preference, but she is. She's a person of color. She's a woman. I think that's the pick. I think it's got to be Biden, and it's got to be Kamala Harris. I like personally. I like Tulsi Gabbard. Some of the things she says, I don't agree with, but the one thing I like what she said is that when when Barr came out with the Mueller investigation came down, Tulsi said, "Let's move on. Let's okay, we should be happy. We should be happy that Trump didn't collude with the Russians, and let's just move on. Let's just get on with business." So yeah, I really like that. I thought that was really great. Yeah. So yeah, who do you see as the running mate?
That's a good question. I don't. I think Stacey Abrams. I think he's going to say that she was robbed, and this is her chance to. There's some reason why she won't go away. There's some reason why they keep talking about her. There's just something there. So I wouldn't be shocked if they used her for that.
Stacey Abrams.
Yeah. So are you familiar with Stacey Abrams?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think they can. I think
losing the.
Yeah. I think they can play off of that. For some social justice warrior points. I don't think that Kamala Harris would be willing to take the vice president position because she's running for, it would be almost like a step down for her. I think that'd be hard for, she looks like she's got an ego that'd be hard to fit in a van. So I imagine it'd be hard for her to step down and become somebody else's running mate. She might want something else, she might want to be governor or something.
No, there'll be lots of backroom deals and
yeah, no, that's why she's in there still.
Yeah. Okay. So
there's no way that she could win.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I see a lot of these candidates that obviously they got no chance of winning, but I think most of them are there to just build their profile, get up on the national stage. And get some more Twitter followers, build their political for the next step. They're obviously going to think about maybe do whatever they want to do next in politics. So so that we're going to be whittling down. Is there still 20 there right now, Miss? I haven't seen a lot of them in the news lately because the squad has been taking all their news coverage. So how many's left? I mean, I know that Swalwell, Eric, the Swalwell guy, he dropped out. I imagine
he left.
Yeah, he's gone.
But I think Steyer stepped in. I think we're at a net. I think we've remained right where we're at. They're doing another debate coming up soon, and it's still scheduled for 2 nights. It looks like they got at least 10 people for each night still, and those are the people who qualified for the debate. So you probably still have 20 people officially running, plus a bunch of people who are trying to, I don't know, maybe get a book deal.
Well, that's right. Yeah, and who's that crazy Marianne or something?
She's fantastic.
I would donate to her campaign just to keep her in. And she actually in the first debate, although she said a couple of crazy things, but she talked about how the healthcare system, they really don't have a healthcare system. They have she mentioned something about that. She almost let not say a red pill, but something slipped out there that was almost kind of pretty true. have. And then she started talking about what's in the chemicals, what's in the food, and then they cut her mic. They just like, whoa, get her off. We've accidentally had some truth come out here. We're sorry. We apologize. There was where accidental truth slipped through the filter, the big mainstream filter there. You know, everyone go back to what you were doing before. Everything is fine. Nothing to see here. But yeah, but I thought she's, what the hell is she even doing? How did she get there? I mean, it's...
Republicans are funding her. Republicans want her to stay in the next the next debate. I saw some funny stuff where people were trying to run Republican crowdfunding for her, and I was like, I'll throw in $10. The more of this chick up there, the better.
It's just, yeah, that's insane. I mean, she's got all this like love is going to win, and and she's done this thing. It looked like she was in a church or something, and where all the white people were apologizing to all the.
Oh yeah,
that was. That was cringe. I mean, that was like, but I didn't. That was. I don't know what setting that was in. I think she's in some kind of weird cult or something like that. I'm not kind of sure what the setting was. Yeah. Anyway, what other topics? What other topics did you want to? Would you like to sort of go over? Did you have anything?
Oh boy.
I know we've been going for about 2 hours now.
What did we hit?
Well, there are more than those two, but those are the two that popped out.
I don't know. You want to? Do we hit Ilhan Omar hard enough yet?
I think she's doing. She's doing a pretty good job of that herself.
Do you think that she's running the squad?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's the leader. She's the strong. You know, she's she's the strong. AOC is the mouse. She's the little quiet one. When you see them up on the platform, you know, when they gave their interview, when they gave their press conference, when Orange Man Bad was saying bad things about them, and they got front and center with a press conference. The Presley woman who looked like the chick that was glad to be in the group. You know, the group of she looked like she's really. I've never seen her as part of the little group. She's always sort of tacked on, and she was the friend that was just sort of tacked in there. And looked like she was just so glad to be there. Ilhan Omar, she's the leader. Yeah, definitely. And there is a video where that body language expert lady did the analysis of the whole thing. I really found that fascinating. Talked about like the little glances and the pat on the shoulder and the interactions between them. Yeah, Trump's right to go after Ilhan Omar. She is the leader. She's the head of the gang, or the what do they call it? Pardon me, the jihadi squad or something like that.
Jesus.
I think that's one of the memes that was like going around there. But yeah,
I saw that video and I came away from the body language ghost video and I was sitting there going, oh yeah, I'll bet she does come off as the one that's leading this mess. I thought AOC was leading it because I didn't hear that much about Elon, and then I was over the last week for sure. It's been all Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, and
I saw that video and I was like, she seems more evil. Like, AOC just seems stupid.
Well, that's like, right.
Ilhan Omar seems to know what she's doing. She seems to be calculated. She seems to be thoughtful. I don't agree with anything that she says, but she seems to at least be thinking about what she's talking about and where it goes in the future. AOC is just stupid.
Yeah, no, I don't think AOC has much of a clue kind of what's really going on. All of her interaction is on Twitter. It's all done by Justice Democrats. It's all done by her staff. You know, AOC's not there in the office, you know, typing out these elaborate tweets.
Yeah.
She's like, let's keep AOC busy. Maybe there's a colouring in book. She can put some crayons in the corner there. Alexandra, you keep busy over there. We will run your Twitter. We will do everything for you. You know, she's obviously just the figurehead. All her power is on Twitter. All her influence, all that stuff's on Twitter. And so, you know, I don't think you're never going to see Alexandra Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. You are never going to see her in... I get in trouble if I do not do the hand clap. I have people in the comments saying, dude, you missed the hand clap. When you said her name, you didn't do the hand clap. There was a video I made where I probably I said her name a bunch of times. I did the hand clap like once. And I got comments. You missed hand claps. So I pretty much have to do the hand claps now for her. But yeah, no, you'll never see her in a live TV debate. You know,
Yeah.
If there's you put anyone with any ounce of intelligence on the other side, and she will not debate. She cannot debate. She just does not have the capacity. She can't think quickly. She's not smart enough. I'm not being mean. I don't want to be mean to her because I don't hate anybody. I disagree with her politics, but I don't think she's smart enough to. In that that live debate and a live debate is excruciatingly hard. You know, if you're debating someone live, if it's that's tough. That's a tough job. I don't think she doesn't have the capability. But someone like Ilhan Omar, I think she would do a lot better in like a live debate. She's a lot smarter. She's a lot calculated.
AOC didn't debate the Democrat that she overtook, and she didn't debate the Republican that she was against in her own district. So she was able to take that district without having to stand in front of an audience and verbally spar with somebody. And I think that tells me everything I need to know about that candidate. She canceled one of the debate with that Republican dude. She canceled that debate like 2 hours before it happened. Like she let everything get set up and then said, stomach hurts.
Who was that? AOC?
AOC, yeah. So we can't. There's no record of her debating anybody.
Yeah, no,
that's incredible.
Yeah,
you can't make rules for my country, but you don't debate anybody.
Yeah. It's like all her power, all her influence is just Twitter, and it's not even her. I would bet you $100 that her staff, that they're all running her Twitter.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're all running her whole campaign was run by Justice Democrats, and that they put it off as like this some kind of grassroots thing, girl from the Bronx, bartender kind of thing, but she had a lot of money behind that campaign. They had a lot of her videos were very polished. It was all very professional. She was it Mr. Reagan said that she was like an actor or an actor. She's like an actor, but I don't think she is not an actor, but she is like an actor. She is just there to play a role. She's there to be coached. She's got a lot of very, very smart, cunning political operators behind the scenes. You got, sure. Like the Young Turks are all part of the Justice Democrats, even though Cenk removed himself from the Young Democrats. He's still the Justice Democrats. He's still very much involved behind the scenes. You've got, what was it, that Shidad Chakraborty. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong.
Yeah.
These people are smart. These people are AOC is just not say their puppet, but their figurehead, or their someone that they can put out there that is that they can get a message through. I see her like a conduit that they're getting that they want to get their policies through this elected kind of representative. And maybe there's even George Soros money sitting behind in the dark corners as well. It's like totally possible. But yeah, you can't. I don't think you can't make this stuff up. What we're seeing now, it's just so extraordinary. And a lot of people ask me why I cover American politics, and because it's like the greatest show on earth. The characters. Where do you get a character like Donald Trump? Where do you get characters like Ilhan Omar? If you're putting together a live, like a reality TV political drama, you couldn't build it better than this. I mean, you couldn't.
It's so good.
It's the squad and fighting with Nancy Pelosi, and then you've got the impeachment, you've got the Mueller. It's I don't know how to put this entertainment, because there's a lot of serious implications of all this, but it's like a roller coaster ride. It's like you're at the political amusement park and you're just strapped into the roller coaster, and it's like, what's going to happen today? Well, what's going to, where are we going? How much more wild can the ride actually get?
Yeah, there's not a day that goes by where we don't have a wealth of content that we can create off of this craziness. That's for sure.
And it's like some days it's like, well, where do you even, you're looking to make a video, where do you even start? Go through the news sources, and it's like there's 50 videos that can be made here, but you're looking for that special. You're looking for that one. You're looking for, and it's like 4 hours looking for a video, sifting through news, looking for a video, and then it's 15 minutes to sort of make the video. Yeah. So no, well, I think we'll sort of like start wrapping things up here. It's been a fantastic to talk to you on the channel, to get your insights. Like I'm a consumer of of content, and I love other YouTubers, the content they make, and it's like if you make a video and it blows up, and I'm like, yeah, that message, we got that out there. It's like we're all kind of we're all on the same team, all sort of like fighting in our little foxholes, what have you, out in this information. As Alex would call it, the info war. We're fighting in the info war, and this is an information war. And this is when someone builds a YouTube channel, they're sticking their head above the I don't know, whatever it is, and that you got your you might get shot. And this is what we're doing. We're fighting the same war. We're in the same battle. So I love it when I see channels like you just going crazy, and and everyone. I will leave a link to Salty's channel in the I don't know, description below. I guess when this video gets processed and YouTube puts it out on the regular video list, it will I'll leave a link to Salty's channel, but most of you will probably know where you can find Salty. Salty's Twitter is @SaltyCracker9. How come you couldn't get Salty Cracker? Was there like Salty Cracker
1 through 8 was taken?
I looked at that and I'm thinking, surely there's not like Salty Cracker 1, Salty Cracker 2, Salty Cracker 3. Does the 9 mean anything? Is it symbolic, or was that the...
No, I don't really use Twitter that much, and so somebody was like, "Hey man, you better put a Twitter account together," and I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then I just put Salty Cracker, and it was taken. It was like, "Do you want to be Salty Cracker 9?" I was like, "Oh, okay." And now I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like, Twitter's actually pretty effective at like talking to people. Like that's how we're doing our back end discussions, is through Twitter. So I was like, "Crap! I wish I could go back in time and make it something like Salty Cracker." Or something meaningful, I don't know, but yeah.
So someone had Salty Cracker, like at Salty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's Salty Cracker.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people with Salty Cracker as a YouTube channel too, but YouTube lets you take the same name, so thank God.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So, do you have your BitChute set up? I'm going to put you on the spot here.
No, not really. I got a Salty Cracker. I don't even know what the link is for it. There's only 2 videos up there, but I'm working on it.
It's
the best way
better.
to find me.
BitChute is getting better. It
auto
uploads from YouTube over to BitChute. It does it in about an hour, so it's doing really well. I think,
I'll have to. Yeah, I'll have to make my way over there.
Yeah, I think eventually their network is getting a lot stronger. It's getting bigger as well. So it's they went through like massive amount of growth, and their network was really struggling. And it would take 2 days for a YouTube video to get uploaded onto BitChute, because it happens automatically. Like as soon as you upload to YouTube, I think that you put a little thing in the YouTube or in the BitChute that gets your YouTube name or something, and it will auto upload onto BitChute as well. So it's really good for that.
Oh, that's cool. I gotta check that out.
Okay, so what do you got planned for the rest of the day? A nice easy day, or are you gonna make?
I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go drink some warm water with honey, and then I gotta get a couple videos out today. I gotta get something up.
You're such a workhorse. I mean,
couple videos. I think I'm gonna make my way down to the comic book store, try to buy some stupid comic books, and that's about it. What about you?
Probably. I think I got a couple of Zwift races today.
Oh, nice.
On the bike, yeah. So it'll be, I'm not going to be making any videos. I'm going to be very lazy.
Lazy? You got a big thing going up today, man. You put a lot of work in this morning.
Yeah. Before I'd like to thank the super chats. I mean, as we were talking, I saw the super chats coming through. Froggy Blunterbutt, $100, man, that's incredible. That's amazing. Thank you so much. When you put the super chat up there, I wanted to say thank you for it like straight away, but I didn't want to break the conversation flow we're having. So Froggy, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for the couple other super chats that we had. Yeah, and thank you, Salty. Thank you for joining us on the channel. Thank you, Debbie, for joining us. Debbie, it was really funny. Earlier on, you tried to sneak out of the room, but we could see you. you tried to creep out really like under Salty's chair there, but you could just see your head going through there. So I thought that was really funny. Okay, well, thank you for everyone for watching the stream. I hope you enjoyed it with Salty. I've had a cracking time talking. We've been like exchanging Twitters and everything. This is the first time that we've actually talked, and it feels like I've known Salty for like years. When I've watched so many of his videos, it's not surprising. Okay,
Salty, thank you so much, dude, for having me on, dude. I really appreciate it, and congrats, dude. Your channel is massively blowing up, dude. Great work.
Thank you.
Secret codes. Good job, dude.
Okay, thanks for everyone for watching the stream, and check out Salty's channel. And how do I stop the stream? Just press this button down here, I guess. Okay, so we'll see you in some videos soon. Okay, thanks everyone for watching, and hope you're having a cracking day.